All right. So we got another comic review here, and this is one I picked up. And that is Captain America and Volstagg. This is the second in J. Michael Straczynski's one-shot collections. I thought the first one he did, Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon, was okay. And I feel like that's going to be a running thing. This has been like now, and I'll get to it in a bit, but I'm really hoping it picks up with the next issue, because that was the one I was kind of, one of the few I was really like excited for, was Nick Fury versus Fin Fang Foom, which will be the next one. And you may be thinking, well, why the hell are you excited for, why the hell, if they're one-shots, not interconnected, why didn't you just get that one and not bother with anything? Because I thought, well, maybe they'll all be good. And some of the, maybe some of the others could be good as well. Like, the others could actually be, like, awesome stories in their own right. Because some of them, the whole thing is, like, collaboration of different characters you've never seen before. Except, we've seen some of these before. Case in point with this. And also, we're also going to have Doctor Strange and the Hulk team up. The two I was really excited for were Fin Fang Foom versus Nick Fury and Ghost Rider versus Galactus. There's also the last one, which was originally called Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus, has now been renamed Spider-Man versus the Marvel Universe. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this really just kind of feels like JMS just kind of jerking himself off. These comics really start to feel like that. Anyway, so let's talk about this story. So this comic is called Captain America and Volstagg. What it really should be called is Volstagg with a little bit of Captain America. The story begins with Steve hunting down this neo-Nazi about to literally blow up a Holocaust museum. Wow. And the Rainbow Bridge, Sif calls in the Rainbow Bridge to pull him out. And he then talks to Sif, and he's like, hey, can you do that for the guy's truck that's about to blow up? And they take it. It's a funny moment where, like, Sif uses the Rainbow Bridge to, like, take away the guy's car, and he just slaps into the museum's window and just falls down like a fucking idiot. And he's like, cool, where'd you send the car? And Sif is just like, don't worry about it, I sent it to the moon, no problem there. And it literally, she dropped the fucking car on a rover, on the lunar rover. Like, listen to this dialogue. It's definitely moved the car, George, but I still found it funny. Like, it's just this moment, this one and done panel of like, the lunar rover hasn't even moved since 1972. How could it get into a collision with a black four-door late model sedan with implode on impact? Are you even drinking? Not yet, but I have plans. It's definitely like, if that was like if it was more than one panel, I'd call it a move the car, George, to a moment, to paraphrase Comic Pop. Anyway, so the real story is that Steve gets summoned not by Thor, but by Volstagg in order to help with a secret mission. That mission being is that he went to the Volstagg traveled to a planet called Trigon, not the demon from DC Comics. This planet where it was talked by another alien race, a warlike alien race, and they prayed to their gods, and Volstagg showed up. Volstagg then proceeded to lead a planet-wide rebellion to take back the planet. And now, the evil alien races return to the Trigonians, and they were praying to Volstagg again. And Volstagg's like, hey, I need some extra help because these aliens know me, but they don't know how to fight you. And Steve is just like, well, I'm honored and I'll go with you, but why didn't you just call Thor or the rest of the Warriors 3? And Volstagg is just like, look, dude, I don't want them to go because they'll take my thunder, alright? When I went, it was just me, and I was so fucking cool. Like, I was all, like, just hanging dong the whole fight. But if I bring them, they expect me to be a big bumbling idiot, alright? So, Steve agrees, and so Cap and Volstagg go back to the planet and have it taken back. And also there's an alien woman there who really wants to jump Volstagg's bones, but he can't because he's married, and he has to remember that he's married. Yeah. So Volstagg and Steve fight them back, and the day is saved thanks to the two of them, who Volstagg dresses Steve up as and calls him just an assistant. So Steve fights alongside him, they take back the planet. There's nothing really big, it's just, hey, Volstagg did this. And that's the end of the comic. So, yeah. It's more of like, Steve is just there to pimp out Volstagg. And don't get me wrong, I really like Volstagg. I enjoy the Warriors 3 on a whole, and this comic just felt more like, this really just felt more like JMS was just more like, no, he's really cool, guys, you don't understand, Volstagg's really cool, and I want to do a character study with him, but I don't know how. I know, I'll throw him with one of the most popular characters in Marvel, and just make it all about the other guy. There's also, again, a Move the Car, George, where they're talking about, like, why do you talk like that? And then, why do Asgardians talk like that? And there's this just one-page panel of, like, Volstagg talking to Ben Franklin about lightning and all that. And I was like, there's the Move the Car, George moment. But, yeah. So, at the end of it, Thor comes along with Hogan and Fandel, I can't pronounce his fucking name, but the rest of the Warriors 3, and he's like, hey, we got, if you're done being a fat ass, we gotta go fight some frost giants. Which is weird, because Thor's, like, maybe king of Asgard right now, but that's not what's going on, from what I understand, because I haven't caught up with it yet, of Immortal Thor. So I guess, this is supposed to be, like, different, set in a different point in canon, but whatever. All in all, the comic is just, like, fine. Yeah, like I said, it's not so much a Captain America and Volstagg story, it's more of a Volstagg featuring Captain America story more than anything else, which is fine. I feel like Volstagg doesn't get enough love, so it is kind of nice to see that. But the comics, like, it isn't so much about them fighting this alien threat. A majority of this book is just Volstagg, like, several pages of this one-shot are more for Volstagg talking about, like, oh yeah, everyone thinks that I'm just a big fucking goof, but really I did this. And it's more about him talking about stuff than anything else. And it's really only 3 pages of them, less than 3 pages even, of Steve and Volstagg retaking the planet. So it just kind of felt like, like, it just felt like it's a nice story if you're a Volstagg fan like me, but still I was kind of hoping for a little more. I'm now a little worried that the Nick Fury versus Fin Fang Foom comic might be, like, I don't know, a fucking, like, just more, like, just dialogue and then 2 pages of fighting at the end. God, I hope I didn't jinx it, but still. Anyway, it was okay. Just, I was expecting a little more. If you are a major Volstagg fan, then maybe give it a look, but other than that, So yeah, that's my review of Captain America and Volstagg. But if you've read the comic, comment below, let me know what you guys thought of it. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention, because I just don't get it. That whole Ben Franklin thing? Why? It wasn't funny. It wasn't... It was just, like, why do we need to explain why the gods talk like forsooth and all that? We don't need to. It just sounded like even Jack Kirby said, we just thought it was cool. Why the fuck even bother? I don't know. That was just a thought.